looks like we are recording and good to go. Hello, everyone. Happy blue moon. Happy full buck moon in Capricorn. We will talk all about the moon tonight, but first, let's start by taking a few deep breaths together. I always like to start with deep breaths just to ground us in, help us become more present and focused, and help us to be here in the now, letting go of all other distractions. So when you are ready, find your posture, find your spine, sit nice and tall, create plenty of room for your breath. And when you are ready, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Ground in, shake it out, loosen up if you need to, and let's do that again. Deep breath in through the nose. Maybe even grab more prana and let go, maybe with an exhale this time. Vibrating the vocal cords and your vagus nerve, activating your parasympathetic nervous system response, helping you to become more present than even before. Let's do this one more time. And if you'd like to join me with a stretch, maybe you reach your arms out or overhead. Deep breath in, maybe even more of an inhale. Grab what prana you can and let it all go. Welcome to our full moon circle tonight. I am your host, Veena Lenae Rachel. I am a moon priestess, intuitive, medium, Reiki master, teacher, and channeler of the divine. I have been practicing the divine arts for many years now, and I do use divination in my everyday life to help me work towards my goals, to help to manage any sort of issues that I'm coming around with, emotional balance. I also use the moon to help me find more alignment in where I am trying to go in the future. So the moon can provide us incredible guidance. It helps us to understand the energy of what's going on around us. And it also helps us to move towards whatever energy is coming ahead. I would like to start by introducing our elements tonight. And this is the way that I always begin our circles. I will show you some elements to work with. We will also talk about this full moon tonight, what it means to be in a blue moon, a buck moon, how the Capricorn energy is affecting us. And we will also talk about the Vedic astrology of this moon. We will wrap things up with a chanting practice. Now, this will only be for my 13 Moons members here live tonight. So if you're watching the recording of this after, just know that that chanting practice will not be included. All of my moon circle practices happen with my members only in the 13 Moons membership. But then I take these recordings of moon circles, edit them, and put them out onto YouTube and my website, all of that. So chanting practice for the members tonight, and then everybody, whether you're watching the recording or you're here live, we will go over the tarot cards that I have pulled for tonight as well. Let's start by bringing in our earth element. And by the way, if you don't have any of these elements tonight, perfectly fine. You are still able to work with the energy at hand. The ether, or this digital connection that we have, is a wonderful place to share magical tools and elements because the frequencies of these tools move beyond our physical spaces. They move through the ether from me to you. So even if you do not have these tools to work with during this full moon portal, you are still receiving the energy of these tools by tuning into the moon circle right now. I always like to start with crystal or gemstone suggestions. And the first one that I would suggest working with is snowflake obsidian. It is this beautiful kind of black and gray spotted stone, and it reminds us to let go of anything negative, let go of anything blocking our energy from flowing. It's also a great one to remind us of the future. The next time we move around to the new moon in Capricorn, 6 months from now, we'll be coming around to a new year. And this is a reminder to think about that energy ahead. As much as we always want to be present and anxiously in the future, we do want to make sure that we have a plan or a directive of focus so that we know where we're headed. I would also suggest working with any crystal or gemstone that is blue tonight because we are underneath a blue moon. The first one I have here is aventurine, AV, not adventure. Aventurine is wonderful for balancing your chakras. This moon tonight is all about balance, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But if you are looking for energetic harmony, then I would suggest keeping some aventurine on you. You might also want to work with agate right now. So I have an agate stone here that's just got some different blues. Now, agates are going to be all different colors, all different patterns. This just happens to be a blue agate that I have. Now, the color blue psychologically is very calming. Emotionally, it helps to soothe us. So having blue stones around could help soothe your energy. But if you are feeling especially anxious with this moon or in general right now, you might also want to work with blue lace agate. It is a particular type of agate that helps us with anxious energy. So feel free to look for that if you're feeling a little imbalanced right now. In addition to those crystals, I would suggest working with hematite right now. So I have some hematite here around my wrist. It's this metallic looking stone, and it's great for releasing tension. That's mostly physical tension, and it does this by enhancing our circulation. That's why I have this on my wrist. I highly suggest getting you some hematite around your wrist. This will help with your heart, which is your energetic center, the balancer of your subtle energy body. But this also helps you with your blood flow and your circulation. The blood is going to move out into your muscles, help you to release tension, help you to relax overall. Now, important note, do not put hematite in water. It is not a water soluble stone. And pretty much anything that ends in an ITE, selenite, angel light, hematite, those are all stones that you wouldn't want to put in water. Aside from the crystals and gemstones I've suggested, I would also invite you to bring in things to see. We are underneath a Capricorn moon, and the Capricorn archetype is represented by the sea goat. Now, there is a lot of folklore and legend around the sea goat. Some of it comes from Greek mythology, where they believe that the sea goat of Capricorn is an incarnation of Pan, the flute playing half human, half goat. In Jewish tales, they talk of an actual sea goat that existed amongst the oceans. There are other tales of sea goats as well in many different cultures, but it all stems to the sea. So right now here in my space, I have just some seashells that I've collected on my own journeys to the ocean. I have a broken sand dollar piece. I have half of a clam shell. I've also got a half of a little shiny oyster shell here. I have this fossilized rainbowed nautilus. Really cool ancient energy there. I also have another shell and of coral, hardened coral. Now, Capricorn, as much as it is called the sea goat, it's also known as the cosmic mermaid or merman. So those shells and all of those little collectibles from the ocean can also relate to that archetype. We want to consider the energy of the ocean right now. And although Capricorn is an earth sign, this sea goat or mermaid energy reminds us of what can rise up out of those creative swirls of the sea or the waters of our internal ocean and womb space. We have mountains and volcanoes and islands rise up out of the ocean over time. And we too can build our mountains over time, step by step, if we take creative force one day at a time. Sometimes the Capricorn is represented, Capricorn energy is represented by a mountain goat as well. And you can think about those mountain goats that fight or stay on the top of the mountain or the crumbling side of the mountain. They have incredible agility and balance and stickability to the mountain, no matter what's going on around them. And usually they work to climb to the very top. This is also the energy that we're holding on to right now. We have stickability towards our goals. We remind ourselves to keep going, and we take the steps that we need in order to find success. Now, in addition to these earthly tools, usually I bring in a smudging stick to burn, and I'm not doing that tonight. Instead, I'm going to bring in a candle to burn for our fire. So I will combine this soy candle, ethically made, with this fire tonight. And we're combining our elements now to bring in the fire. It's a motorcycle going outside if you hear it. Full moon energy is at hand. So we have this candle, and I'm going to let this be in our circle tonight. Just let that light illuminate. And the reason I'm bringing in the candle is because this moon is also known as Guru Purnima in the eastern side of the world. So this is the moon of the guru, and guru in Sanskrit means dispeller of darkness or bringer of light. This is a moon where we honor our teachers, our gurus, the people that have helped us to grow. We also take this time to honor our inner guru, the things that we have learned out of self-study and self-discovery, the person that we have become out of our own doing and our own parental push to become somebody more. Bring in fire into your moon circle energy tonight to remind you of that darkness that is broken the more we become. Now for our smudging tonight, I'm bringing in the element of water. I've made up a smudging spray, and this is a great alternative if you don't want to light up a smudging stick and let the smoke go around, or maybe you're in a space where you can't utilize sacred smoke. This is a solution I've made with Spanish sage essential oil, a little bit of salt, and water. That's it. Now, if you were going to keep this around for a while, longer than a month, I would put a little bit of witch hazel or isopropyl alcohol in there as well, just to help kill any bacteria or growth that may occur. But if you're going to use it pretty quickly, you don't have to do that. So I'm just going to take this smudging spray, and I'm going to spray it in a circle around me. I'm going to go to you. I'm going to go to the technology that we're using. Little fire magic. Did it put it out? No. Yes, no. It sparked, and I didn't know if it was going to put it out or not. So it's okay. We're going to light it back up again. Boom, just like that. So these smudging sprays are great for cleansing your energy, for cleansing your space, and they're a great alternative to the smoke. But we also have some essential oils tonight to use also for our water and our air element. The essential oils work with our olfactory system. I don't know why I can't think of the word tonight. They work with our olfactory system and our limbic system. So the actual sense of smell, maybe a little bit of taste, but also emotion, memory, and mood that reside within a certain part of our brain. These more upper chakras are activated when we utilize aromatherapy. And the energy of the plants does help to uplift our frequency. Speaking of uplifting your frequency, the first oil I would suggest working with is lemon. Lemon is the oil of focus, and I have some lemonade on the side drinking that as well. So you don't have to use lemon oil. You could make some lemonade for your water element, and also the aromatic smell. Is that even a combination of words? But the smell of lemonade also brings in that lemon scent. Lemon helps us to focus. It calms the vrittis of our mind, those tornadic, distracting thoughts of the mind. And it also helps to elevate our frequency and put us in a good mood. We need to be focused right now. We still have quite a bit of time with this year, and we have a lot that can come to us, a lot that we can make happen, but we have to stay uplifted. We have to stay joyful, and we have to stay focused in order to get there. Lemon is also very cleansing if you are looking to purify or detox underneath this full moon, because full moons are always a time of release. If you want something different for your detox or digestive support, I would suggest working with spearmint. Spearmint is an oil that's a little bit milder than peppermint, but still provides that cooling sensation. Both peppermint and spearmint are great to work with during the summer, but they're also great to work with to help release physical tension. Capricorn energy is very rigid, very stern. It is an earth sign, and it's earth energy that's very cardinal as well, which means it is both the earth, the origin of the earth, and the earth growing. So it's, the land underneath the ocean and the mountain that forms up out of it. So when we have this energy coming into play underneath the full moon, we can feel very tense. We can feel physical discomforts. We can feel restless. We can feel anxious in our mind. Spearmint can help soothe all of that. It releases the physical tension. If you mix it with a carrier oil and put it on your body as a massage oil, it can help to release the physical tension of the muscles. And it also helps to soothe your energy. Our solar plexus is the place where we digest our emotions and break down the things that we take in so that our sacral chakra can process them and our root chakra can eliminate them. With a full moon being a portal of release, if there's something you need to let go of right now, emotionally, energetically, you might want to utilize more spearmint in your life. By the way, spearmint and lemon together are a really nice combo in the diffuser. Freshen up your spaces in a summery way. Now, I would finally suggest working with Arbor Vitae, a little bit more expensive oil, a little bit more potent. This is the Tree of Life oil, and it is an oil that will help us to root in to the person that we are becoming, the person we are growing into. It will help us to harbor generational wisdom and guidance as we move forward into our growth, and it also helps to root us into our dreams. Right now, we're in a potent portal where Neptune, the planet of dreams, is within its home sign of Pisces and retrograde. This means that our dreams aren't just dreams, they are dreams that can come true right now. So bring some Arbor Vitae into your life if you need to ground into the belief of your dreams coming true, or if you just need to ground and focus again in general. Now, the fifth element I've already mentioned, it's the ether. It's this digital space we're connecting to. It is where all frequencies are transferred, and I like to use it because it will only become more powerful over time and with more people tuning into this transmission. So we will hold space for the magic of the ether as well in our circle tonight. And I will move forward by inviting in the guides and guardians of these elements. You can join me now by taking a deep breath, closing your eyes, and holding space. I start by inviting in the guides and guardians of the East with their element of air. This is a blue moon, a rare double full moon in Capricorn this year, giving us second chances. The air element represents fresh breaths, the dawn of a new day, new beginnings. So we seize this second chance we have now underneath this blue moon. And we thank the guides and guardians of the East with their air for being in our circle tonight. We also invite in the guides and guardians of the South with their element of fire, burning strongly with the solar light reflecting onto Earth now through this moon. We always use the fiery light of the full moon to burn away what no longer serves and ignite a drive within us to keep moving forward. We thank the guides and guardians of the South with their element of fire for being in our circle tonight. We also invite in the guides and guardians of the West with their element of water, purifying us and cleansing us, preparing us for the future, helping us to reflect on the past, and also helping us to float along in the present. We thank the guides and guardians of the West with their water for being in our circle tonight. We also invite in the North with their element of earth, representing this earthly Capricorn moon, representing the ancestors that are guiding us now into our next destination, representing the earthly magical tools that we're using tonight. We thank the guides and guardians of the North with their earth for being in our circle. We also invite in the guides and guardians of the fifth element, the Akash, the ether, all that ever was, all that ever will be, archangels, angels, deities, cosmic races, beings, source consciousness, whatever you want to call it. We invite it in now. We welcome it, and we receive the messages that come our way. With that, our circle is officially sacred and sealed. We can utilize this space even more now to go deeper in learning about the moon. This is a blue moon, and a blue moon means that it is quite rare. Have you ever heard of the expression once in a blue moon? This means that we have 2 full moons with the same sign occurring this year. We started with a full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, one day after we entered into Cancer season. The full moon is in Capricorn because it's always going to be opposite whatever season the sun is in. Right now, our sun is in the sign of Cancer. Opposite that on the zodiac wheel is Capricorn, where our full moon resides. And we reflect that energy of the Cancer sun back onto the earth. This is also an opportunity to again have the same energy because we do not move into Leo season until tomorrow. So tonight we hold on to another full moon in Capricorn. And that rarity of the full moon brings us extra power to release what is standing in our way. This gives us a second chance. Perhaps with the solstice portal, you did not feel like working on your goals. You took a lot of rest. Perhaps you've been resting since then. Now, this full moon will probably to motivate you to start getting back to work. Maybe it's the other way around and you found yourself a month ago working really hard, not being able to take a lot of rest or not prioritizing time for yourself. This full moon gives you a second chance to pause, to recuperate, to get ready for what's ahead, but not do the work just now. We have the ability to get back on track if we have fallen off, or we can lay down a new track towards a new direction. Perhaps what we were working on before is no longer working now. Typically, we would do this type of work underneath more of a new moon, but because we're in this second full moon, it encourages us to do the work now. We will arrive at a new moon in Leo in 2 weeks, and we do have all of this time to work on letting go, processing, making space. We don't have to do it just underneath this full moon tonight or in the next day or so. This full moon is going to set the standard for the next 2 weeks ahead. So we will harness the hardworking nature of Capricorn while also being reminded that we are in a sacred pause in the lunar cycle and we might need to take some downtime. Speaking of downtime, I'll mention this at the end of the transmission, hopefully, but before I forget, we will not come together for a new moon circle in 2 weeks if you are in the 13 Moons membership. Speaking of taking rest, I am leaving to go out of town next week, and we've decided as a family to take a little impromptu quick vacation down to the beach, down to Florida, down to my happy place, down where me and my husband got married, and we're also celebrating our anniversary a little late. We had our anniversary on the 18th, but we didn't have a chance to do anything. Going back to where we got married, and we're taking our kiddo and we're just taking a little break. But I will be there on our last night of vacation underneath that new moon, and I need to spend time with my family. So I'm going to be doing that. But I will send you an email with all the information about the moon. I'll still be writing about it on my website, putting all that extra information and guidance in the 13 Moons membership, crystals and oils to work with, rituals, magical practices, mantras, intuitive journaling prompts, all that good stuff that I give you in 13 moons. It'll still be there for the moon. We just won't have a circle. And I just appreciate you holding space for me to do that and giving me the grace to take a moon off to be with my family and my kid and my husband. I really do appreciate that. Okay, let's go back to talking about the moon and talking about this Capricorn energy. This is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by the planet of karma, life lessons, father time, hard knocks, fatherly energy. And that particular planet of Saturn right now is retrograde in Pisces. Now, I already mentioned that Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. But when we have Saturn retrograde, that means that the planet of karma is taking a step back from mastering so much of our life right now. They kind of relax and put the reins in our hands so that we can decide where we're going to go from here. This is a very karmic moon. Pluto is also conjunct with this moon right now, the planet of power and control. We are being given an opportunity to take control of our lives because Pluto is also retrograde right now. We also have just a very interesting energy from Vedic astrology, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we need to understand that right now, the sun season of Cancer is still coming into play. That energy is reflecting from the moon onto the earth. And Cancer season is ruled by the moon. As much as we are in this energy of work with Capricorn season, we are also in the energy of mothering and self-care from the Cancerian sun. We need to make sure that we have a balance of both work and rest, yin and yang, masculine, feminine, doing and non-doing, etc., etc. This is where that balance aspect comes into play with this moon as well. You need to both mother yourself and father yourself in order to be successful in life. You have to have self-care and self-discipline. You have to have a soft side and a hard side. Shadow and light, it all balances out to make us who we are. If we move over to the Vedic side of the world, to the Eastern side of the world, this moon is in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra. This translates to universal star or star of victory, and it is ruled by the sun. So from the Western perspective, we have a sun ruled by the moon. And from an Eastern perspective, we have a moon ruled by the sun. There's a lot of polarity, a lot of dynamism, and a reminder that we need the both and in this life. This moon is represented by the 10 Vishvadevas in Vedic astrology. These are the 10 gods of Dharma. Now remember, on the Western side of the world, this moon is being ruled by the karma of Saturn. We have both Dharma and karma coming into play. We have to be reminded to take action towards our true purpose and destiny. And every time we don't take action towards that, there is a karmic repercussion. This moon, from Vedic perspective, is also ruled by Ganesha. It's represented by an elephant tusk, and the elephant deity that removes obstacles can be useful to use right now if you are trying to let go of things standing in your way, or maybe you're trying to get out of your own way yourself. Maybe you need to switch up your day-to-day routine. Maybe you need to take a different direction where your energy is focused. Maybe you have new goals that you need to work on. This is a very interesting nakshatra because it resides within two different constellations, and this isn't normal. A lot of the nakshatras are usually just in one constellation. Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra spans from 26 degrees Sagittarius to 10 degrees of Cancer. Sorry, 10 degrees of Capricorn. I'm all mixed up with my Cancer Capricorn tonight. So Sagittarius to Capricorn, we have this energy spanning across a lunar mansion, housing the moon, and the energy of both will come into the theater right now to act out. We will have that energy of Capricorn, hardworking nature, stickability, organization, structure, seriousness, fatherly energy. But we also have jovial Sagittarius, who's a goal seeker, a goal getter, a believer in big dreams, but also brings in the energy of expansion. Capricorn is the energy of contraction. We have both happening right now. If you know anything about birth, you know that it's not just one process of opening and the baby making its way out. It is a succession of contraction and expansion in order to bring the baby down and bring the baby out safely and gently enough. We are in that birth portal right now. We are in a rebirthing process. This has not been your typical summer. This has not been your typical Cancer season. This has not been your typical year. Things are a little bit different cosmically right now because we are going through great change as we become who we need to be in this age of Aquarius now dawning upon us. We are shedding old layers of ourself. We are moving into new purpose. We are driven in a different way. And Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra will encourage us to do whatever we need to do in order to get where we are going. This is a powerful moon for you to both take action by either actually taking steps or by not taking steps. We need to be able to do both. So you need to maybe pull out your planners, pull out your calendars, look at the next 2 weeks, the rest of this lunar cycle, and decide for yourself, do I have an equal balance of work and rest? Putting myself out there and also taking care of myself, having relationships with the external, having relationships with myself. These are the questions we should be asking about our energy right now and where it's going. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I wanted to say about either Western or Eastern astrology. This is Guru Purnima. We mentioned that as well. I think that's it for now. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments if you're here live. I am going to have us do our chanting practice next, and then we will move to the tarot reading. And of course, if you are watching the replay, we'll skip that chanting practice. That's only for my members live. Let's move on to our tarot reading now. I pulled cards for past, present, and future guidance, and all of the cards pulled up right this time around, which I feel like is a good sign. The past card I pulled is the Four of Cups. We have this green square surrounded by pink. These are both the energies of the heart chakra, and the number 4 is representative of that fourth energy center, the fourth chakra, Anahata, our heart. There's also a deep connection to the sacral spaces from our heart, our second chakra, and this is where our creative waters swirl. This is where we hold fertility. This is where we have that emotional processing. Anytime we pull the Four of Cups, we're content. I don't want to say we're content, but we're taken care of. Our needs are met. We probably have our wants and desires as well. Things are kind of going good. Everything seems like it's in balance and operating well, but we are starting to become restless. We are starting to become discontent and dissatisfied. Perhaps we're yearning for more, but we're forgetting to be grateful about what we have right now. This is a past card. It reminds us to look back at our past, see what all we've gained, and hold an attitude of gratitude around it in our hearts so that we continue to have our cups floweth over in the future. For our present card, I pulled the Two of Wands. Here we have another green square, this time surrounded by yellow, the color of our solar plexus and the color of joy. This is the energy of light as well, and we are underneath the moon of the guru, the bringer of light, the dispeller of darkness, Guru Purnima. So I do believe with these two wands representing magic, this is a reminder for us to look at all the magic that we've cultivated, that we've gained. Look at the wisdom that we've gained. Look at the alchemy that we've gone through, and think about who helped us get there. Think about your teachers, your gurus, those that have helped support you. And also think about yourself. Think about looking within at your own magic and how you've crafted your own gold. Anytime we pull the Two of Wands, this is an opportunity to seize what's ahead. There's a lot of potential, there's a lot of expansion, and there is an ability for us to create more joy working in our craft, working out of the things that we love doing. So use this full moon in Capricorn, this blue moon, to start setting a standard towards more of your joy and the energy that moves out of your heart. For our future card, I pulled the Two of Cups, another two card, and a Cups card this time around. We have that same pink energy, but this time we have a blue square representing the throat chakra relationship to the sacral. When we have all of these emotions, these creative ideas, we have to move them up through the heart and out through the throat. So we start to express, we start to creatively express, emotionally express. And with that, there can be great partnership and harmonizing of energy. These two cups can also be representative of the male and female energy that resides within us, and the harmonizing of both sides of us, the yin and the yang, in order to become more successful, in order to stack our cups and have them overflow. This card also represents partnerships, energetic exchanges, a coming together possibly of two people, or a meeting together in some way in order to uplift frequency and raise standard. So keep an eye out for who comes your way in the future, because it might be somebody important towards your growth. This card is also reminding us that the severance of relationships can be emotional. This full moon might need you to release somebody in your life that is no longer serving your growth or your dreams or the life that you're trying to step into. That, of course, could be an emotional grieving process. Give yourself the time you need under this new moon, full moon relationship. So we have 2 weeks from the full moon until we reach that new moon in Leo. Use the time right now to grieve if you need to heal the wounds of your losses, to make space and clear out and sever and cut cords and cut ties if that's what you need to do. Remember that we can balance of both and under this moon, and that's actually the most ideal concept to lean into. This is what I have for you tonight, loves, for your circle. This is our reading from the cards. We've done our chanting practice. I've touched base on Western astrology and Eastern astrology for this moon. I hope that you feel a little bit more balanced tonight and motivated to find more structure and organization in your life. I hope that you're feeling motivated as well to continue to work on your dreams. Don't give up just yet. Continue to take action. There's a lot of energy to still play out throughout the rest of this year. And if we can learn to just keep ourselves composed, keep ourselves contained, we are going to reap a lot by the end of the year. By the way, thank you so much for my jumbled words and your patience around them tonight. We are in a pre-Mercury retrograde shadow. And when we're in those shadows, the energy already starts to get a little crazy. How about that big Microsoft issue the other day? That's a great example. And Jupiter's in Gemini right now too, which is, just big things in tech. But Mercury is preparing to go retrograde here pretty soon, and we're already starting to feel that energy. I was born in a post retrograde shadow, and I always joke that on Mercury retrograde times, pre-shadow, post-shadow, that is the worst for me. I will have the tech issues. I will not be able to speak right. My words get all twisted. Even when I write things down, it can get a little crazy. So thank you for your grace and your patience tonight. with my twisted tongue-tied words as well. So we will meet again probably for that full moon in Aquarius. That'll be our next plan to come together. Should be home and should be able to hold space then. Thank you for the space to take time off with this new moon in Leo so that I can spend time with my family. And of course, if you have anything ever come up that you have questions about or you need guidance with, you can always send me a message through social media, or if you're in the 13 Moons membership, you can comment on any module, any piece of content within the membership, and it will get to me and I will answer it. So feel free to explore however you need to amongst the ether to get to me, but I am always happy to help you understand more about what's going on in the cosmos. I love talking about the moon and stars. Been doing it for a long time, and I don't think I'm going to stop anytime soon. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon. We are going to release our guides and guardians now. And after that, I will just take a deep breath and end our circle by blowing out the candle. So I will go ahead and bid you a good night for now. Remind you to make your moon water and drink it tomorrow. If you need a good cleansing and purification underneath this moon, a good detox. And until we meet again, Loka Somosta Sukino Bhavantu. And I'll translate that to English after this closing. First, I would like to release the guides and guardians of the fifth element, the ether, the Akash, and everything related from source. We thank you for being in our circle. We thank you for the messages that you have brought, and we release you now. We also thank the guides and guardians of the north with their earth element for being in our circle tonight. We thank our ancestors for their guidance. We show thanks for the magic of the earthly tools that were present tonight. And we release this element and the guides and guardians now. We also thank the guides and guardians of the West with their element of water for being in our circle tonight, helping us to be patient when it comes to making our dreams come true, helping us to be in a state of flow. We thank these guides and guardians and their water as we release them. We also release and thank the guides and guardians of the South with their element of fire, helping to ignite the drive within us to continue to work on ourselves, and also for the fire of release to make it easy to let go of what no longer serves. We thank these guides and guardians as we release them tonight with their water and fire and earth and ether. And finally, we release the guides and guardians of the East with their air, giving us the opportunity for new beginnings, giving us a second chance with this blue moon. We will not let it go to waste. We seize the opportunity, and we thank the guides and guardians of the East with their air as we release them tonight. With that, our circle is finished. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best on this blue buck moon where the deer are growing their antlers and shedding what no longer serves. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all feel safe and at peace. May we all feel loved, be loved, love one another. May our actions, our intentions, and our behaviors contribute to the happiness, the health, the wellness, the safety, the peace, and the love of all. And so it is. And so it already is. And so it mote be. Blessed be, loves.